to Crazy Life Scotland. My name's Fiona, and recently we stayed at the Radisson Red Hotel in Glasgow, and I thought I would do a little review for you. Now, I'm in a wheelchair and it was an accessible room that we were in, and I was really quite impressed with a lot of the elements of the room. There was a couple that could be changed ever so slightly, so I thought it would be quite a good idea to do quite an in-depth review for you, just in case you're also looking at accessible hotels in Glasgow, because I've stayed in some that have barely met the minimum standards that I would expect from an accessible room, but this one was really quite good. Now, we won it as part of a prize. I will link the vlog for you where we actually stayed there and had our prize. It was a fantastic weekend that we had. So it didn't cost us anything, but I will talk about how much it would cost if you were paying for it. So let's start at the beginning, shall we? It's a very good place to start. As you drive up to the hotel, it is a very impressive looking building. It's lovely, it looks very fresh. I'm not sure how old it is. It's a relatively new hotel. It is situated right beside the SEC Armadillo, the SEC and the Hydro concert arena. So where it is excellent. It's also right beside a tube station or a train station. I'm not sure which one it is. And it's right off the motorway as well. You're about a 10-minute taxi ride into the town centre, so it's an excellent location, it really is. And the views, depending on where you are in the hotel, are lovely. I will mention the Sky Bar shortly because the views from there are immense. There's car parking facilities around the back of the hotel, and it is £12 for a 24-hour stay in the car park. There are disabled parking spaces in the car park. When you go round from the car park, there is a ramp that takes you up to the front door of the hotel, which is excellent. There are also stairs as well if you don't need the ramp. Going into the hotel was superb. The doors are red, very red, and they're automatic. They open up and you walk into like a sort of, like an entrance bit. I'm very technical, I'm full of technical terms on this channel. And then you've got other red doors facing you, and when they open, you get an absolutely gorgeous first impression of the hotel. The artwork, the decor, the way it's laid out is lovely. And you go in and the reception desk is just on your left hand side. The reception staff were busy when we pulled up, when we went in, but they acknowledged us and said, just give us a wee minute, we'll be right with you. And they weren't long at all. They were so pleasant, they were very nice. They asked what we were there for, you know, just making conversation. We told them we'd won the prize, and she was like, oh, that sounds fantastic. Sorry about the lighting, I have got the sun coming right in at me here. Because it was an accessible room and because I'm in a wheelchair, she did give me a form to fill out so that if there was any emergencies, fire, anything that there had to be an evacuation, so they could put a plan in place to make sure that I got out safely, which I thought was really good. It only took maybe 5 minutes to fill out the form. It wasn't a big deal. And yeah, they told us about our room, they told us about breakfast and asked if there was anything else that they could help us with. They told us there's a phone in the room, you just press 0 if you want anything at all, so that was really good. Then we headed up to our room, and there are lifts in the lobby of the hotel. So there's a lift that takes you to your room, and there's a Sky Bar lift that takes you right up to the Sky Bar. Now, one thing that I thought was quite good is to get to the room levels in the hotel, you need your key. So people can't just walk in off the street and go up into the hotel corridors and start banging on doors. I have had that happen in the past in Premier Inns, just people coming in off the street and just being annoying through the night. So I thought that was a really good aspect of it. We came out the lift, we found our room no problem. Now, when you scan your key on the door, because it's an accessible room, it's actually a power door which opens automatically for you. Again, fantastic. So you could go in, it gives you time to get in, and then it closes automatically as well. And the first impression of the room was, wow, it's spacious. There was a lot of space. my second impression was that bed is very high. It was lovely, but the bed was really quite high, which from an accessible point of view isn't ideal. I can transfer myself from a wheelchair to a chair or my own bed because they're pretty level with my wheelchair. However, this one, there was a gap probably about that to go from my wheelchair onto the bed, so I did have to get Jack to help me with that. So that is something to bear in mind, and something that I think the designers should maybe have thought about when they were making the room, because there's a whole load of space under the bed that really isn't needed. So yeah, I think they could maybe lower the bed a bit. And then I went and had a look in the bathroom. That was amazing. First impression was wow. They had grab bars wherever you needed them, but they folded away discreetly. It was very clean. It smelled like a swimming pool. It was so clean, and it was all tiled on the floor. It was white tiles, and I'm like, my feels are going to make a right mess of this, and they did. But in the corner there was a shower, and there's a sort of handheld bit, but there's also the big rainfall bit from the top as well. There is a seat that is folded up against the wall. It's fixed to the wall that you just fold down to sit on, which is excellent. Again, the height of that was really good, and it was very comfortable and very clean. Some of the showers that I've been in that have got the attached seats, they look a little bit grubby, but it was very clean. One thing that I will say about the shower though is that it was an excellent shower, and my husband loved it because it was really quite powerful coming down at you. However, when you're sitting on the seat, you're directly under the rainfall part of the shower. So it's very difficult to actually put the shampoo on your hair and put the soap on your body without it all just getting rinsed straight off. Now, in the good old days when I could stand, I would go in the shower, I would go right under it to get wet, but then I would step out to wash my hair and to wash my body so that it wasn't all getting rinsed straight away. Then I would step back in to rinse it. You've not got that option because where the seat is, it's right under it, and no matter what way I went, I was still getting wet, which I wasn't very happy with. Yes, I could have switched the shower off to do it all and then switch it back on, but it had taken a good few minutes to heat up to temperature, so I really didn't want to risk sitting in a cold shower while it heated up again. So I think that's something they could maybe have thought about, is maybe just putting the seat ever so slightly to the side of where the shower is, so you could still get your body right under it, but you could also have the option to move out of the way of it. But other than that, the bathroom was fantastic. The grab bars at the toilet were fine as well. The toilet roll was reachable, which is something that a lot of disabled toilets don't think about. The mirror was nice and low, and it had lights round it, so it was perfect for doing your makeup, and the sink was at a good level as well. So all of that. The towels were folded up and they were relatively high. I did manage to reach up and grab one, but they almost all fell on me, so the towels could maybe have been a little bit lower. But other than that, the bathroom was great, and it had the alarm cord at the toilet. Sure, there was one at the shower as well. And going back into the bedroom, I noticed that there is an alarm cord at either side of the double bed, which is fantastic as well. And all their alarm cords went right down to the floor. How many places have you been in that there's a sign that says it must touch the floor for, you know, so that if anybody falls they can get help, and yet it's all tied up in a way up there. But these were proper alarm cords in the right places, going right down to the floor, which was excellent. The bedside table things were really smart as well. There is a plug at each side of the bed, and there are also USB ports as well, which is good. However, it's the proper USB port size, and a lot of phones now, like ours, it's the USB-C at both sides, so unless you've got an adapter, that isn't much good anymore. That's the problem with technology. I'm sure they were excellent when they were first installed, but things have moved on. And the window was a massive big window, let lots of light in. It did have the net, so that, you know, for privacy. Our view wasn't the best because, I don't know if it was because it was an accessible room. I don't know if all accessible rooms have got that view. We were basically looking out on other buildings, but if we went to the corner and looked round, we could see a bit of the hydro. But to be honest, the view, we were there for one night, the view wasn't really an issue for us. There was a television which had free view, had loads of different channels, and that was excellent. Now, one of my major bugbears was the mirror in the bedroom. Now, the one in the bathroom was perfect, right at a good level. The one in the bedroom was too high. So I'm sitting in my wheelchair trying to do my hair, because that's where there's plugs there for your hairdryer and your straighteners. Obviously, you can't do that in the bathroom because of water and electricity. So that's really the only place you've got to do your hair. But I could see from there up in the mirror. I couldn't see anything else. So that is something I do wish, when people are designing rooms for accessible people, whether it's a disabled toilet or a bedroom or whatever, that they would actually consult people in wheelchairs, because with the best will in the world, they look at what you need to have, and they have ticked all of the boxes of what you need to have in that room. But they've not actually sat in a wheelchair user's position to see where the mirrors are and that sort of, where the towels are, where the bed level is, things like that. I would love to be consulted when people are designing these things. Not just me, you know what I mean? I would love a wheelchair user to be consulted, because that was annoying, trying to do my hair. I just had to do it blind, basically. There was an espresso machine, but there was only like 2 coffee pods in the thing, and there was no hot chocolate pods. It would have been quite nice to have the option of hot chocolate. I don't think there was biscuits, actually. I didn't really check. We weren't too fussed about any of that, but it was just an observation that I made. Lighting was also an issue, as it is with all hotels. Why do they never let you have decent lighting in the main part of the bedroom in hotels? There was a decent light over where the wardrobe was, and I'll talk about that in a second. The lighting in the bathroom was great, and like I said, it had the lights around the mirror, and there were lamps at either side of the bed, although it was one of those situations that there were switches everywhere, and Jack's switch switched on my lamp, and my lamp switched on, my switch switched on the light over there. You know the situation. But there wasn't a proper head-on light, again, for doing your hair and for things like that. It was a little bit awkward. Decor in the whole room was brilliant, really unusual. There was some white, the walls were mainly white, and one of the walls had black images on it, or black outline drawings of people flying, which was weird, as in it looked like they were falling, or it was like something out of Peter Pan. And the more you looked at it, the more you could see different things. It was actually quite clever. And the one where the bed was against had red outline drawings, which was really nice. And the lift, actually, that's a point. When you go into the lift from the lobby up to your room, it's like wallpaper, but it's like loads of book covers, CD covers, movie posters, all with the word red in them, because it's the Radisson Red, and it all had a very red hue. It was really clever as well, really interesting to look at. So if you're in there with other people and you don't want to make small talk, you can actually look at the walls and not look ignorant. So yeah, the artwork and everything was good. And the same on the wardrobe. There was a big drawing on the outside of the wardrobe, which was fantastic. When you opened the wardrobe, there was a light inside. There was a full-length mirror on the door, which was good. And in the main side, there was an ironing board and an iron, which was good as well. Again, you don't always get them. And the hanging rail was actually quite high. It had plenty of coat hangers, but it was quite high. And I thought, But then Jack realised there was actually a pole that you could hold on to and pull it down, and it brought the rail down to you, which is an excellent design idea for wheelchair users. I want that in my house. I really do. It was fantastic. Just went like that and took off what you needed and then put it back up. It was brilliant. What a great idea. And on the other side of the wardrobe, there were shelves. There was a couple of drawers. One of them had a hairdryer in it. And there was a safe. And there was a mini fridge as well, which didn't look like it was on it. There was nothing in it. I would imagine you pay extra for the mini fridge and the safe. But the main part of the wardrobe was excellent. What I will say again though, because of its position to the door, Jack had went out to get the bags from the car, and I was looking in the wardrobe, just having a look, and when he came in, the door automatically opens, and it was very tight. I got stuck between the bedroom door and the wardrobe door. I had to sort of manoeuvre my way out slightly to shut the wardrobe door to be able to get out, because it's an automatic door, the bedroom one, with, you know, the main door. We couldn't close it a bit for me to move. So again, where they've got the wardrobe in relation to the door isn't ideal. It was maybe the only place they could put it, but I get the feeling they've just not really thought about how close it is to, it's a very large door for getting the wheelchair in and out, which is great. So I would say that's the sort of main aspect of the accessible room. Brilliant. They've thought of a lot of things, but there's a few things. The mattress was too high, the mirror was too high, the lighting wasn't great. Where the shower seat is, I think that could be doing with either being moved over a bit or being able to sort of swivel it over, one of the two. But generally some of the ideas that they had were really, really good. Now, the next day we had breakfast included as part of our prize. So we went down for breakfast. The decor between the lobby and the restaurant bit was really good. It was like the whole thing in the lobby was like a honeycomb theme, which was really clever. And the honeycomb areas round the sort of entrance to the restaurant had some plants and things in it, but it also had quotes from famous people. And it was something to look at. It was, you know, quite interesting. The main part of the lobby as well had a big screen, and you could touch it to get information about eating out, things to do, that sort of thing, which was really good. And when we actually went into the restaurant, there was a buffet area that you could go and help yourself. That was pretty well stocked, I have to say. They had like granola and yogurt, they had fruit, they had cereals, they had breads and cake, and they had cold meats and cheeses, so that was really quite good. They had fruit juice, I think it was apple juice, orange juice, and they had water which had fruit inside it, so it was like lime infused water, which was lovely. That's what I had. That was really nice, although it was a bit warm. It had maybe been out for quite a wee while when I got it. So that was nice, but there's also a hot food menu that you can choose from as well, so you get both included in the breakfast. And the menu for the hot food looked good. You could get eggs any kind of way you wanted them, you could get pancakes, you could get a full Scottish breakfast which included potato scones, sausage, haggis, bacon, egg, beans, that sort of thing. So the menu for that looked really good. I chose the pancakes with bacon and maple syrup, and Jack chose the full breakfast. But I have to say, they were below par. They really weren't good. It was like something you would get from a service station at the side of a motorway. Wasn't impressed at all with their cooked breakfast. They had a coffee machine sitting that you could help yourself to, but it wasn't working properly. It was hilarious. I wanted a mocha, so we put the mug under and pressed mocha, and some bits started coming out here, and then this red stuff started coming out over there, so we had to move the mug over there, and then other stuff started coming out here, so we moved it. But then there was like stuff coming out from everywhere, and it was just a mess. It was a big mess. It was either needing a good clean because of the way it was going. It was like they were maybe a bit clogged, or it was just not working. The machine next to it wasn't on at all. So there was quite a queue building up behind us, and everybody was laughing at us trying to do it, and they were like, what did you have? Because I'm not having that. And Jack got the latte, and again it was trying to move it about, and it wasn't nice at all. The coffee was bitter, it just wasn't nice. So generally, as far as the breakfast goes, if it's included in your room rate, yeah, go for it, give it a try. If not, don't pay the extra, and I will come on to talk about the costs in a minute. But before I do, I want to mention that it is dog friendly, which is a big plus for us. We are huge dog people, and we did see a couple of dogs in the reception, and then a couple actually brought their dog into the restaurant at breakfast, and I thought it was lovely. The dog just sat at their feet, quite the thing, but it's so nice to be able to take your dog in when you're having breakfast, because a lot of places you can have your dog in the room, but what do you do with it when you're eating? So that was excellent. That was really good, the fact that it is dog friendly. As far as the size of the hotel goes, it looks like there's loads of rooms, but the main lobby area is quite big, but the restaurant is relatively small, and there was a sign for the fitness suite, but looking on the information in the room, I don't think there's an awful lot in it. There's no swimming pool or anything like that. So from that point of view, it's not the biggest hotel I've been in. It's definitely not the poshest hotel I've been in, but it was a very comfortable hotel. Oh, I've not spoken about the Sky Bar. So before we went out at night, we got ready and we decided to go up to the Sky Bar, which is on the very, very top level. It's on the roof of the building, as the name suggests, and the view is amazing. You get a view of the Hydro, the SEC, the Armadillo, the Clyde, you get the big crane, you can see the Science Centre, the BBC studios, you can see for miles and miles. Absolutely gorgeous view. There is an outside area, but it is a smoking area. I think it would be nice to be able to sit outside and enjoy the nice weather in the summer without people smoking, but I'm a non-smoker, so I understand that people who smoke like to be able to have a smoke when they drink. And it's not the biggest area, so it's not like they could have a smoking area at one bit and then a non-smoking area. So if you're outside, chances are there'll be people smoking. But they've also got speakers outside, so the music that's playing you can hear outside as well, which is really good. The bar was very busy and a lot of tables were reserved. Now, we didn't know you could reserve tables. They do a little bit of food there, but not a lot. It's like sandwiches and olives and things like that. It's not proper food. Well, it's proper food, but it's not like a proper meal, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I would say if you are going and want to go to the Sky Bar, reserve it if you can, or get there early. We did manage to find a table eventually, but not beside the window. So yeah, it's very busy. If you can, reserve a table. We weren't told that you could, we didn't know that you could. The price of the drinks was actually okay as well. I got a half pint of dark fruit cider on draft, and Jack got a bottle of salt, and it was just over £7, which is really good for hotel prices. So yeah, the Sky Bar is definitely worth a visit, but either go when it's quieter or get a table reserved, or if you're not wanting a drink, just go up to have a look out the window. It did have some nice tables and it had some comfy couches as well that you could sit on. So yeah, really good. The price, now like I said, we didn't pay for it. However, if you were to actually pay for the hotel, I looked and it was Friday there that we went, but to go this Friday for one night, it didn't give the accessible room rate. I think it's the same as the standard room, because when you're booking it, it comes up standard room, but then there's an option to click accessibility. We actually phoned the hotel to make sure we were getting an accessible room, because it was the people we won the prize through who had booked the room and they didn't know I was in a wheelchair. So we just phoned them and they changed it, no problem. But so to get that room on its own for the night would be, like this Friday for one night, would be £106, just over £106. And that's for the two people, it's not each, it's for the room. If you were to get the breakfast included, it would be just over £135. In my opinion, that breakfast wasn't worth anywhere near £29, nowhere near it. So if it was me, I would just book room only, and there's plenty of places round about in Glasgow that you can go for something to eat for breakfast. It was maybe just a bad day. Maybe the chef was having a bad day. It wasn't overly busy though, so I don't know, but I wouldn't pay £29 for the breakfast. That was for both of us, but I don't think it was worth it, in my opinion. I think the room was worth £106 because it was very comfortable. I'd say the bed, the mattress was very comfortable. The pillows were a bit hard for me, and the duvet was a bit synthetic and thin. I was actually quite cold through the night and had to get up and turn the heating up. There is a panel on the wall that you can adjust the heating. I had to get up and turn the heating up because I was cold. But other than that, it was a very comfortable room, and yeah, definitely worth it for a 1 or 2 night stay, in my opinion. So I'm sorry that I've havered on for over 20 minutes, but I hope it has been of use to you. Let me know in the comments below, have you stayed there before? Do you think you would after listening to what I've said about it? Are you in a wheelchair or are you not? We weren't in one of the non-accessible rooms, but I would imagine it's very similar. I don't think it maybe wouldn't be quite as spacious, and it obviously wouldn't have the alarms and the grab bars and things. There were no grab bars by the bed either, that's another thing. But like I said, I had to get Jack to help me on it because of the height. But yeah, let me know in the comments below if you would consider going. If you know of any other really good accessible rooms anywhere, let me know as well. So, if you have enjoyed this, please do hit the thumbs up button. Talk to me in the comments below, like I said. If you haven't already, please do subscribe. We do lots of things on this channel. We do family vlogs, we do doggy things, we do hauls, we do reviews, I do crafty things, lots of things here. So if you would like any other review videos like this, just let me know as well. Let me know what you would like me to review. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I will see you in our next one. Thank you. Bye.